Today we're looking at the Freewell Neutral Density Filter ND32 Polarizer for the Mavic Mini and the Mavic Mini 2. This should be really exciting. Hey guys, real quick video on the ND filter that I bought for my Mavic Mini 2. Just to show you the boxing real quick. 4K series. Got it off of Amazon. I have the link below. This is not a paid sponsorship. I bought it myself. And a little filter guide. But the main thing is the filter here. Pretty big box for a little filter. Set that aside. I'll show you how it goes on with this little strap. Metal part goes back here, wraps around the back of the camera, it holds it in place. Actually, it does stay still. It hasn't come off yet in flight, but this lens is a polarizer style, so it does spin. So you can adjust it. Now, in the real world, doing this while it's on the gimbal to figure out what your scene looks like in the background is going to be pretty tough. I've spun it before and then put it back on, and spun it again and put it back on to kind of play around with it. It is not the easiest thing to do, especially when it's on the gimbal. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on. Still keep the stickers on here because it helps keep the gimbal guard on. Take the gimbal cover off here. It kind of snaps around the back side of the camera. Kind of make sure it's seated in place. You want to be careful of that. My first flight I had some issues. I just put it on just like this and sent it up in the air, and it seemed to be jiggling. So I brought it back down, recalibrated the gimbal while the ND filter was on the gimbal, and then it worked fine after that. So if you have that problem, that's what you got to do. All right, to set the polarizer background, normally you would spin the filter around in camera until you got it to where you want to, where your background, your sky looks saturated as how you want it. With this small thing, it's going to be difficult because it's so small. You're going to get fingerprints on it, and you don't really want to grab the gimbal while it's powered on. So you're going to have to pretty much turn it on, adjust it, turn it back off, adjust it again, turn it back on, adjust it until you get exactly where you want it. Be set. There is a white indicator, very small. Focus. Kind of let you know where it is. All right, so we will take flight, and I will show you a video on auto settings with no ND filter. I'll do a 4K at 24 with 50 frames per second and ISO 100, and we'll see what it looks like on a bright sunny morning that it just finished snowing. All right, guys, to wrap it up, that is the ND32 filter from Freewell. So far, so good. If you have the 8 or the 16 or the polarizer, leave in the comments below about what you think of those. I'm more interested in probably the polarizer, just flying over water. This is my fancy setup. Oops, I should have put the cover back on. I have a charger in here. I can have a small cord I'm coming in the mail to plug into the back of the drone so it can charge while it's in the box. And under here is the controller. You can put your cords on top here. This is how my drone will stay pretty much unless I'm going on a trip and I want to bring a lot of stuff and I want to stuff this into my camera bag. But in the meantime, this is a good protective case while it's out. All right, see ya.